why you don't mix absinthe and Jägermeister together.
I already don't like
Jaeger. Because then you find your way under a bridge somehow 5 weeks later, not knowing who you are or what happened.
Are you living in a van down by the river?
No, that's too expensive.
Fair enough. Who can afford that in this economy? It's like it's like the same thing whenever I'm on a blackjack table and whenever we have an ace showing, we turn it to the side like this, and then we offer insurance to the players because if I have a blackjack, and people are like, no, and I'm like, yeah, who can afford insurance in this economy? And I shut it off, and then I'll flip the card if it's a blackjack, and I'm like, yo, the economy once again tanks us all. I go a fast too. I'm like, anyone, Progressive, Geico, Allstate, anybody, State Farm, Farmers, anybody? Like, I will throw the actual insurance companies out. I get a chuckle from the right people. Other people don't. They're just like...
Don't care.
I'm like, y'all, this is why...
Because they're 6 beers deep and they don't give a fuck about you.
No, some of them have fun when they're 6 beers deep. Other times they are belligerent. I don't like the belligerent people. Anyway...
Off your TED Talk step stool.
I do Tim Talks.
You do short talks.
Bitch.
You come into my home and you insult me like this.
You come into my home, you insult me like this. I don't know what to do with you. Alright, you were supposed to host a podcast. Get to podcasting.
Okay, so, I have 2 options.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tall and Short. Paul and Tort. What the fuck? Tall and Short with Tim and Tony. I'm Tim. He's Tony. Let's go.
We got 2 options. And this is going to go weird either way. Because I'm going to phrase it weird just to fuck with you.
Of course.
We can talk about stinky monkeys. Or we can talk about my mild obsession with an actress.
Alright, let me get the chaise lounge out. Alright, Tony, we're going to talk about your actress. Let's go. And that makes you feel, my friend.
We're going to talk about the Deer Woman.
Oh, I've heard a little bit about her.
Yeah.
And I've heard, actually, I listen to a spooky podcast, right? And they get people who talk, so the spooky podcast, the format is one of the hosts does like 2 or 1 big like scary story they find on the internet or based on lore
like
of
a Reddit or something,
or based on lore of a specific location, based on eyewitness accounts.
Yeah.
And then the other host at the end of the show does listener submitted stories. And one of the stories talked about encountering the Deer Woman, described as being a woman in a white dress with clearly what looks like fawn antlers on her head. And I'm just like, and even further, it happened to like this person's either friend or mother. And it's like, oh, you saw the deer lady. Yeah, she appears sometimes. I'm like,
oh, she just appears.
Huh?
The fuck?
Okay, a little terrified now.
Also, quick side note. Last time I checked our YouTube recordings, I think it was your pig serial killer guy.
Robert Picton?
183 views. That's I was going to say double check it for me, but last time I saw 183 views, which is like almost twice the most we've had previous. So I don't know who wanted to listen about him, but...
Holy mother!
What we got now?
That's 183. Yeah. Holy crap.
So, thank you for our followers for actually giving us a boost. Now go listen to some of the earlier stuff. I know it's hard to listen to because,
Yeah, we're...
First timing.
We're first timing all this, but I think we're starting to get our
We've got a groove.
Yeah.
But yeah, most people that I talk to about the podcast, I tell them the first 3 episodes are kind of rough. And then they get better. Trust me, there's a curve.
Oh, that's with most podcasts. Yeah. Like there's podcasts.
You have to muscle through the first couple.
Like I'm gonna name drop one, which also was an inspiration for me to start this. Is Time Suck with Dan Cummins. Yeah. That was that episode, that podcast. Dan, he inspired me to want to do this type of stuff, and even further, he has actually a lot of the sources that he has used. I have actually gone through as well to find. that's how I've also gotten a lot of very weird knowledge that I'm able to learn.
That your FBI agent is concerned about.
Yep, and so, or the early episodes of that, like the first 50, give or take, because he was recording when he started recording these podcasts. He was recording in his kitchen, utilizing microphones like us and the old.
Yeah,
the old like
halfway
barriers, the old barriers that we used to do, instead of having an actual studio.
Yeah.
Now that I actually have a house and I can have a studio in home, the audio quality is better. We're getting our feed a bit better.
Next year we're going to be at San Diego Comic-Con. It'll be great.
I mean,
It'd be cool as shit. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've thought about wanting to do like local live shows at some point, but. In the meantime, I kind of like this still being just kind of like a nice little hobby for us. Like it's fun.
I won't say no to becoming a
if it gets if it gets bigger, but absolutely,
some source, that'd be awesome. But I'm okay with it just staying like it is too.
Like because you and I we get to bullshit, hang out, have fun, and our mutual appreciation of the weird ever permeates.
Yes. Anyway. Thank you to our listeners for getting his weird pig episode like almost to 200 views.
I never would have seen that coming.
Yeah, I was not. I looked at it one day. I was like, "That's not right." It is right. Okay, cool.
I mean, heck, I saw the Kelly Hopkinsville incident was 124.
Yeah, that's our second biggest.
Which I'm impressed. I haven't even checked.
Was kind of a.
I haven't even checked the ACAST stuff, honestly.
I kind of want to see it next time.
Maybe off mic. I'll look it up.
Dear woman.
Dear lady. Dear woman. Dear lady.
Dear woman. Dear lady. Yeah.
I've heard a little bit about her, but not enough that I can give a proper interpretation or.
So this
anything.
Is all off Wikipedia because it's a very generalized idea, and it's coming from multiple tribes. So. The descriptions vary to tribe to tribe, but overall it's pretty much the same idea.
Were there not a lot of like blogs or articles?
I couldn't find a whole lot. There's Dear Woman Masters of Horror. It's an episode from the Masters of Horror.
Oh man, I want to watch that series just because I'm a sucker for horror movies.
Yeah, but I wanted to do. Mostly just a general description and sort of the history of her instead of... And then, of course, I've got Old Faithful Mr. Blackman's North American Monster Guide for if we want to delve into if you actually saw her. But Dear Woman's a cautionary tale in... When I say multiple... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different tribes.
Mother of night.
Yeah. The Lakota, the Ojibwe, Ponca, Omaha, Cherokee, Muskogee, Seminole, Choctaw, Otoe, Osage, Pawnee, and Haudenosaunee. And those are the ones that have documented sightings.
Also referred to as the Iroquois.
Iroquois.
But of course, I believe that we discussed this early on one of the episodes that Iroquois is a pejorative. Yes. Yeah. So the Haudenosaunee is the actual term. Oh my god! Oh, whoo! Yeah. She is in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So, the Dear Woman is allegedly one of the little people, and that's not dwarfism or anything like that, but it's part of a folklore pantheon, I guess, is the best way to describe it, that is from, including Ireland, Greece, the Philippines, the Hawaiian Islands, New Zealand, the Flores Islands, Indonesia, and Native American tribes.
Yeah, the little people, quite truly.
Yeah, it's almost like a fae folk, but not really.
Yeah. Because I know that Native Americans, they have their own the little guys. There's a whole bunch of different characters, such as
well, your Thunderbirds.
Thunderbirds
are in that realm, kind of.
Crap. There's a There's like a little I think mischievous character that in certain Native Americans is called the Pukwudgie.
Yes.
Which we can discuss in another episode. Yeah. Very much like a little person, and they are native. They're literally nature beings close to nature that are out in the wilderness, separate from humanity and civilization.
Yeah. The little people can be malevolent towards humans. Their role in indigenous cultures basically uphold traditional society norms by keeping humans in line and discouraging, infidelity, promiscuity, unfaith, basic Christian tenets, but in a native lens.
Yeah, literally, don't be a dick.
Yeah, don't be a dick and don't be an asshole. But her thing was mostly the legend of the Deer Woman in particular pushes people away from promiscuity and infidelity, and little people in general actually hold otherworldly knowledge they can pass on to humans, sort of like a demigod situation, passing universal knowledge down.
Ooh, I actually found a website.
Okay.
It's called it's the Pioneer Woman Museum. Oh, from Ponca City, Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, Pioneer Woman.
Frickin' hell. That's from Ponca City.
Yep.
And it's actually got a whole article about the Deer Woman, and how she's something of a boogeyman in Oklahoma.
Yes, she is. She's a boogeyman pretty much everywhere.
Well,
in any legend.
This is because like the Cherokee, they have the Nunehi, the people who live anywhere, or the Ani Yunwitsansi. Or if you pardon my Cherokee. Pardon if we have any Cherokee speakers. I do not know how I am. It could be she at the end of an SDI. It could be she. I could be wrong. It literally means little men. So this is fascinating. Sorry for derailing.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm all for additional context.
This is awesome.
But the universal power that the little people can bestow upon humans, obviously keeping in lines with the traditional norms. God damn it, Ted.
The saga of Ted continues.
The power must be obtained, respected, and maintained in a traditional, healthy way.
Mm-hmm.
And if these rules are broken and this knowledge is used unhealthily
for nefarious purposes,
the people chance the incursion of the wrath of the Deer Woman and her uncle Thunder.
Uncle Thunder.
I kind of want my name to be Uncle Thunder.
I mean, you're not going to get any kids out of me.
No, but I've got 2 godsons.
Yeah, and you have two.
And I have my own child. You
have 2. You do have 2 stepbrothers.
They're not having any kids either.
They're not.
Nope.
All right, fair enough. I mean, I'm not. Ignore me.
I know where you're going with it. Mm-hmm. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
So, regarding the Lakota people perspective of Deer Woman is also called, I apologize to the Lakota people, Anuki, the daughter of the first man and the first woman, was a beautiful young woman named Ite, or Face.
Probably Anukite.
Anukite.
If her name was initially Ite.
Yeah.
Anukite.
And Tate, or the Wind, fell in love with her. They married and had quadruplets who were the 4 winds. Tate wished to become a god and enlisted the aid of Inktomi, the trickster spider, who caused the sun to fall in love with Ite. At a celebration, Ite sat in the place of the moon, the sun's wife. To punish her disrespect, the sky cast Ite down from heaven to the earth. Half of her face became ugly and her name became Anukite, double-faced woman, or Winyanlumpa, double woman.
Double.
Yeah.
Double woman. Okay.
Either face or
okay.
up or... Anukete appears to men in dreams or visions either as a single deer or two deer women, a white-tailed deer and a black-tailed deer.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of going into the yin and yang.
Yeah.
Two different sides symbolize appropriate and inappropriate sexual relations.
Mm-hmm.
Men that have sex with her are believed to go insane, while women that dream of her will have strong powers or sexual attraction or gain artistic powers if they make a wise choice in the near future.
So, power to the women.
And fuck the patriarchy.
Fuck the patriarchy. Absolutely. Yeah, that's the message. Loud and clear with this one.
Like, well, great, thanks.
But it's more like specifically, fuck the patriarchy for infidelity.
Fuck the douchebags.
There it is. That's what it is.
Which I'm all for.
Absolutely.
And then in regards to the little people and sharing sort of ties with, God, what I'd say, Ireland, the Hawaiian Islands, the Philippines, all these other, and Greece even. They all share sort of a general root of having that otherworldly knowledge they can pass on to humans if they're treated with respect. And if the humans are deemed worthy of the knowledge itself.
Mm-hmm. Little side tangent here. Yeah. I've actually come across a couple of videos recently because, I come across everything from... I've seen spooky videos that I'm just like, I should not be watching this at 2 in at night when I'm by myself.
Yeah.
With headphones in.
Oh.
That's even worse.
Hmm.
But no, there's that. And it's also like why you don't invite certain... It's why you don't go outside at night. But that is besides the point.
You don't whistle at night.
But I've actually came across I think a guy out in Ireland or England, Scotland, like up that way. And he's like, we've come across, legitimately he thinks that he has come across a portal to the Feywilds.
Is it that,
I don't...
That flag of...
No. It's not the fairy flag.
Okay.
It's not that one. That's a different story. That's not that one.
I was just thinking. I was like, oh shit.
No, like full on, like when there, how there's sometimes these large, separate, like just big bush like things just out in the middle of nowhere, just separated from everything else. To some that people will actually ask permission. They'll say, "Do I have permission to enter here? I am just here to enjoy being outdoors."
Why did you just kick a fucking, dormant memory?
What?
Sounds weird, I know.
What? Okay, but yeah, no, literally asking permission to enter this just large, small cropping of trees that's just separate from everything else because it could potentially be a portal into the fairy world, which is... and it's all about truly is about permission. What are you talking about? What did I just unearth?
So I lived in Germany. I lived in southern Germany.
Yes.
For 3 years.
Yeah.
And we lived close enough to where we took when my grandmother and one of my uncles visited us.
Uh-huh.
And this was in the early 90s, right after the Berlin Wall fall.
Yes.
We went to the Black Forest and we went to Neuschwanstein Castle. Basically Cinderella's castle. That's what inspired it. And I want to say we had a tour guide.
Uh-huh.
And I vaguely remember him, saying something, just out loud, right before we entered the forest. And I'm not sure why that just... vomited out from the depths of my memory.
I mean, some people take that very seriously, and they do, and I don't blame them.
And I was when I was in Germany, I was 3, 4, all the way to 6.
The fact that you were that young and I managed to somehow dig that memory out is saying something.
I don't know. Anyway.
Because... There are quite a lot of stories about people who just disappear.
Yeah, in the Black Forest,
in the woods.
It's called the Black Forest for a reason. And dark.
They vanish.
Yeah.
And I'm talking without a trace. There's no bones, nothing. and it's weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, not to detract any further, you're talking about, like,
yeah, where was I?
about asking the spirits. I think that's what it was. Yeah, I detracted us.
You derailed me hard.
That's my bad.
Basically, yeah, Deer Woman is it's a cautionary tale for young men, probably teenagers, to not be stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And young, early 20s, mid 30s, that age range, I imagine.
Yeah.
To what's the word? Infidelious?
Yeah, not be unfaithful. Not be unfaithful. There you go.
And that's more of the legend, the cautionary tale side of it. And as for the actual cryptid side, it gets weird and a little violent.
Oh.
I'm going to read a piece from the Deer Woman bit from Blackman's North American Monster Guide.
All right. Should I put a warning at the beginning of this?
Warning now. It gets a little morbid and a little dicey.
Okay.
Beep boop, beep boop. Warning. So the Deer Woman would allegedly go into not festivals. Powwow. Is it powwows? Celebrations.
That powwows is what a lot of them do. It's a
celebratory thing. They would go basically into a party, a Native American party, a powwow, something. I can't remember the term. But she would go in. She would dance among the women around the fire, and she would start scoping out, a possible male to be a victim. When she chose her victim, she would use her vast beauty and mesmerizing eyes to tempt him into the woods.
Oh man, ain't that a... Oh boy.
Mm-hmm. Once away from the light of the fires, the Deer Woman would force her chosen mate onto the ground and ravish his trembling body. I feel like I'm reading 50 Shades of No.
Do you want to go back there for a second?
No, we're just going to keep...
Ravish his...
trembling body until dawn approached.
Ah.
Then, just before her victim was overcome by ecstasy, the Deer Woman would leap to her feet and trample the man beneath her sharp and deadly hooves. That's the top of the roller coaster. It's all downhill from here.
I mean, something was definitely overcome. That's for certain.
With her powerful legs, she would kick his skull until it caved, and her foot would come down on his neck, tearing open his throat and spilling his blood onto the earth.
I think I saw something similar in The Boys in one episode at one point.
I'm sure that absolutely happened.
Oh, God.
Aside from her powers over men, the Deer Woman can run faster than any natural deer, and she can leap over fences and other obstacles with ease.
I wonder if she's related to Spring-Heeled Jack. Not to...
That's probably one of our... Actually, that one didn't perform too badly on YouTube. I'll admit that. Somehow.
I feel that one could have been a little better, but
Also, like so many monsters attuned to the wilderness, the Deer Woman can will other animals to do her bidding. She has a special affinity with deer and other herd animals and can command large bucks to attack anyone who would do her harm.
Oh, okay. That's making me think of another podcast I listened to.
Death by Snoo Snoo?
No. I will tell you more about it off mic.
So that's basically, she's a siren of the woods. She's a cautionary tale to young, horny teenagers, basically. Yeah. Don't fuck around. Don't fuck around, because you will find out.
And you'll find out all the way until dawn, and then...
And then you'll have your skull crushed in and your neck stomped on.
When you just said... You did say... You said skull, but when you're starting with a sk, I was like... Stomp the scrotum first? I mean...
Maybe? If you're into that?
I mean, I could see her doing... I mean, I could see that possible.
Maybe tip her an extra 20 and she might do that for you before?
Either way.
Anyway, we get from point A to get to point B.
Either way, she was very much a death sentence.
Yes,
If you
absolutely don't fuck up. Remember my mild obsession with a actress?
yes,
You know her. Tanis.
Oh yeah,
She plays the deer woman in Reservation Dogs.
yeah. T.O. Horn is the actress's name. She plays Deer Woman.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah. T.O. Horn is a and just fangirl on her a moment.
Go on.
I love you. No, she's a actress from Ottawa, Canada. She's in a mutual favorite comedy show, Letterkenny, as Tanis, this antagonistic female to the main character's group.
Antagonistic initially, but then becomes
and then turns onto their side.
Yeah, becomes an ally.
And in Reservation Dogs, a show, God, you will never not know it, filmed primarily in Oklahoma.
I knew that part.
Yeah, of course you did. You haven't even watched it, have you?
I haven't.
Exactly.
I need to because I have been told a lot of great things about it, and
It is very, very accurate to quote unquote res life.
I probably have a lot of people who
probably are like, oh shit, I know
like,
that.
yep, that's how it is.
But T.O. Horn plays the deer woman in a couple episodes. Apparently, I haven't kept up with it, but apparently she's become reoccurring. But she plays the standard deer woman of gorgeous female, low slung dress, gorgeous face, and then if you look under, it's cloven hooves.
Ugh.
Deer. And it's a flashback episode where she makes her first appearance, if I remember. The local res sheriff officer. It's a flashback of his to when he's younger, and I think he was like trying to get a free meal out of the diner or something.
Yeah.
And was eating it, and she came and sat next to him, and he's like 13, 14. She's like, "Did you pay for that?" And he's like, and he looks down, he looks back up. "Oh, no, I didn't. I was just really hungry." And sort of this pity story he gives her.
Yeah.
And then she like intentionally drops a fork down onto the floor. And she's like, "Why don't you pick that up for me?" And he leans down and picks it up, and he sees her feet. And he gets back up. He's like, "I'll pay for it." She's like, "Good idea." And she gets up and walks away. And because she's a, sort of a censor for like promiscuity, some guy in an old Trans Am pulls up, like a 70s Trans Am.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, baby, what's going on?" And she's like, and she gets that smirk of like, "Oh, I'm gonna fuck you up." And she's like, "I'm just going, I'm going that way." He's like, "Hop in." And
I like it.
And then
I like it.
The final like couple minutes of the episode, it's the sheriff talking about that flashback to the main characters, to the Res Dog kids. And then it like cuts away to like the other side of the reservation, somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it's her walking down the side of the road, and modern day Camaro pulls up, and same thing happens, and the same shit-eating grin, like, "I'm just going that way." So she plays a really good subtle villain.
She plays a good subtle villain. She also
for
plays really strong characters.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
She does a lot of no shit characters, and I love that about her. She is fantastic.
So T.O. Horn, if you're listening, please, I love you.
Tony, down. I'm gonna get the spray bottle on you.
But no, she is a fantastic. I love her as Tanis in Letterkenny.
She
is such a badass.
It is awesome. She's fun.
But yeah, that was it. Just I found a little bit about Deer Woman, and I know that was something I wanted to talk about at some point. I was hoping for a little bit more stuff, but I kind of like the folklore of her and what she is represented to.
That it doesn't really surprise me that that there's not a lot really to her, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because she's such a cautionary tale for kids. It's not compared to...
She's literally the boogeyman.
Yeah. It's not compared to much like how the northern tribes have, the Wendigo. That has stories. That thing has stories.
Yeah.
So, and once again, I still find it fascinating. We actually had somebody in another group that I'm a part in, another chat that I was in. I promoting our podcast, and they said, "Could you please censor this? Because I am Native and I do believe this stuff, and I don't want to deal with that type of thing." I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, and that's I know we're two white guys with no freaking Native blood in our bodies.
Yeah.
But again, the Native folklore and pantheon of creatures is so fucking phenomenally well put together.
It's fascinating, and the fact that a lot of it was also oral history that has still been going on.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is Greece was written and had all that, and the same with Irish and English. Native has just almost purely been oral history.
Yeah,
and that's what's so cool about it. And that's I know we're going to end up touching on more Native folklore, and I'm all for it because it's amazing.
The fact that a lot of the traditions have never died is saying something. Like, it shows the tenacity of a lot of native peoples. Really does. I mean,
sidebar, just to sort of confirm that, I think I've told this story before, but I had he was 100% Mohawk native. He was a roommate down in Florida when I was going to tech school, and we're all early 20s to mid 30s guys. So he went to the bathroom, and I was just like, "Hey, watch it," and I flicked the lights off on him. Big, built like Jason Momoa, not a small guy.
Wow.
And he was a little bit. Actually, he's built like comic accurate Wolverine.
Okay.
Dude, turn the fucking light on. Turn the light on. Turn the fucking light on. Okay. And he let out a like an actual sigh of relief. And I went back to playing my game, and he walked out. I was like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "You don't turn the light off when you're going to the bathroom. That's how spirits get you." I'm like, "Okay."
You don't mess with that type of stuff.
No,
dude.
And the second he got done saying that, never fucked with that again. And I asked him, like, "Is there anything else?" Like, he's like, "You don't eat in the dark either." I'm like, okay.
Yeah, like, once it's dark, you stay where there's light.
Yeah, you turn the lamp on.
You get the light going, get fire going. You stay where there's light.
You Motel 6 that shit. You leave the light on.
Yep. Otherwise you go inside and you go to bed.
Yep.
And you stay there all night. Because there's a guy I come across some of his videos sometimes. He is Native. I don't know exactly his heritage, but he does videos that are about Native humor. They're a little funny. And there's one where he's talking, where he's got his buddies. It's him enacting these videos, and it's him. It's like captions like, "Hey,"
his last name's Eagle or something, isn't it?
It's like, "Oh, hey, look at that! There's a deer outside." And it's like, "Oh, hey, there's a deer. That's great." If that
brother deer.
That fucker stands up, I'm gonna shit myself.
Yeah, I watched him. Yeah,
and then he does another one. This one scared the piss out of me. It's where he's telling his daughter, and I'm getting goosebumps thinking about this. It's where he's telling his daughter, "Don't go out at night. If you hear anything, don't go out at night."
Yeah.
And so then, because she was like, "Can I go?" Because like, "Can I go? Over to my friend's house?"
No.
And he's like, "As long as you're back before sunset, before it gets dark." And he took a nap, and then he wakes up, and then he thinks he hears her outside. He goes out there, and she's actually inside, and he says, Tell your mom I love her. Tell my family that I found myself." And it shows. Then he does an image of himself where he's like creepy, big, glowing eyes. I'm like, "Ah!" And then that was the video, and I'm like, ugh, shit. Like,
I gotta drive home.
Sorry, man.
Bud.
I'm good at nightmares. What can I say?
Fucking clearly.
But yeah, I've seen some of his stuff.
No, the guy I watch, he's funny, and he reacts to some of those, quote unquote skinwalker videos.
Yeah.
And There's a video of like a deer like crossing the road. He's like, "Oh, brother deer, how? Safe travels." And then another one comes up and it's cockeyed. He's like, "Huh."
It's got the fucked up neck, yeah.
Yeah, it's like...
I think I know that guy because he's also done another one where he's like waving, like trying to get somebody's attention, and somebody's walking by and says, "Oh, look at that, he's blessing the land." It's like, no, he's trying to get attention, you dumbass.
He's blind, you idiot. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a D&D episode about some of the references here.
Good lord.
Anyway, the other terrifying creature I wanted to talk about.
I would say a less terrifying.
Equally smelly? Where was I going with that?
Where were you going with that?
This is a family-friendly episode. I'm not going to make comments.
Just rewinding the tape for you.
Skunk Ape, one of my draft picks.
Oh yeah, stinky monkey.
A stinky monkey.
Monkey.
So. All right, Dexter.
No, I was thinking of Master Oogway from Kung Fu Panda.
Oh, I was thinking Dexter's Laboratory.
Monkey.
Stupid monkey. Old references.
Don't make me feel older than I already am.
I'm older than you.
Don't make me feel older than I already am.
Shut up.
We're both guys in our 30s.
I don't have to talk about it. All right.
Skunk Ape.
The skunk ape is a Bigfoot-adjacent creature, most notably found in Florida.
You sure it's just not a Florida man? I mean, at this point, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. I'll bring it up later because it's part of the thing, but...
Gosh dang.
Possibly.
Oh, I knew it.
So, the skunk ape was allegedly first spotted in 1818.
Okay, so so I'm pretty sure it qualifies for a senior citizen discount at Denny's.
I mean, every resident in Florida does.
You got a point. I keep forgetting that everybody, once they turn like 60, moves to Florida.
This is my home world. I say world because there's not a fucking state. This is a home world thing.
Oh yeah, you were born in Florida.
I was born in Pensacola. Like, almost not Florida.
You fucking gator bitch. I don't know. I'm just...
Again, we'll talk about gators later.
Gator later?
Okay. The description of the skunk ape is, standard Bigfoot, bipedal, human, ape-like creature, God damn it, Ted. Approximately 1.5 to 2.1 meters tall, 5 to 7 feet tall for us Americans.
Yeah.
Covered in a molted reddish-brown hair.
Mottled.
Shut up. Skunk apes often reported to be smaller in stature compared to traditional Bigfoot descriptions of Canada and northern U.S.
Uh-huh.
And the skunk ape, named for its foul odor, being similar to a skunk smell.
Or like rotten eggs or something.
Rotten eggs, almost a sulfuric.
Yeah. Yep. I'm very familiar. I'm definitely familiar with this ugly mug.
Yeah. Contemporary descriptions of the skunk ape in Florida, Georgia, Alabama folklore.
That's always Florida, Georgia.
Alabama. Don't insult my heritage. It's Arkansas.
Nope, Alabama's got the banjo.
Oh, shit, it does. It was filmed in a fucking Georgia river.
What, Deliverance?
Yes.
Yes, it was. In fact, it was.
My dad was on that river at one point when he was younger.
In fact, it was the movie Deliverance that actually made Georgia become a new state for filming Hollywood movies. Thank you, Burt Reynolds. And John Voight.
Oh, God, yeah.
John Voight was in that.
Anyway.
But it was still and forever will be
Ding, ding, ding.
Who's the one guy?
In 1818, local newspapers reported a story from what is now Apalachicola, Florida.
Want me to...
Apalachicola. Apalachicola. Apalachicola, Florida.
Apalachicola, alright.
That's just moonshine. That spoke of a man-sized monkey raiding food stores and stalking fishermen along the shore.
God damn it! God damn it! Apalachicola. Oh, it's just moonshine. God damn it! You got me with that one.
I got a zinger once in a while.
Yeah.
Cryptozoologists have made unsubstantiated claims that Seminole and Miccosukee culture includes stories of foul-smelling, physically powerful, and secretive creature called Este Kapkaki, a name which roughly translates to "God damn it, Ted."
I'll be sure to have that one. Yeah.
Which roughly translates to furry tall man or hairy giant.
What'd they call it again?
God damn it, Ted?
No. What was the...
Este Kapkaki?
Este Kapkaki. And it smells like caca.
It's not as good as Apalachicola.
You're getting there.
Some prominent sightings. 1929, alleged sighting. God damn it, Ted.
1929, the stock market crashes.
An alleged sighting occurred at the famous and then recent...
Are you okay? You are having a seizure over
The
there.
recently constructed Perky Bat Tower at the Florida Keys.
The what?
Perky Bat Tower.
The Perky Bat Tower.
Perky Bat Tower.
God
God damn it, Ted. It's a historic site in Monroe County, Florida, in the Keys, located a mile northwest of U.S. Route 1 on Lower Sugarloaf Key at mile marker 17.
Okay.
It's a bat tower.
A Perky Bat Tower. I wonder.
It's a literal bat. It's a bat habitat tower.
I wonder, is it a bat tower? I wonder why. Where did the sarcasm come from? Oh my god, that is actually beautiful.
It's a bat tower.
That is a beautiful bat tower.
Anyway, witnesses reported an unknown ape-like creature was drawn to the construction site, and after inspecting the bat tower shortly after it had been stocked with bats, the creature shook the tower, driving off the bats, and then ran off into the woods.
Why, man? Why Skunk Ape gotta be such a jackass?
I'm Johnny Knoxville. Welcome to Jackass.
I think it's Johnny Skunksville at this point.
Johnny Skunk Ape.
Johnny Skunk Ape. What?
In 1942, a man in Suwannee County reported a similar creature rushing out from the brush line while he was driving down an isolated road. Of course it was isolated.
It's always isolated.
It was alleged to have grabbed onto his vehicle and beat on the running board and door for half a mile before departing.
No, I'm pretty sure that was just Carl.
First Florida man incident.
Yep, I'm pretty sure it was just Carl. He was off his meds again, running into the woods.
God damn it, Ted.
I almost wanted to say in 1942, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. I'm just trying to ruin you now, man.
In the small county of Barden in Putnam County, Florida, beginning in the 1940s, there were a number of alleged sightings of a creature came to be known as the Barden Booger.
The Barden Booger.
You gotta get a little bit of zing to it. Barden Booger.
The Barden Booger. Was a Suwannee snot rocket taken?
It's actually, I like that one. In the 1960s, a rash of sightings in Central Florida happened around the Alachua County and Marion County.
Bless you.
One such report from '63 involved several members of a family encountering an ape-like creature around their rural home, including one instance of it approaching a window to peer inside at night.
At this point, I'm putting a gun out the window and firing, because if you are peeking up like I'm just talking this like, then you are getting a bullet to the brain, because you are not looking at me. I will buy a new window, damn it.
So, peak sightings were between the 50s and 50s to the 70s. The Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization archived hundreds of alleged sightings across almost every county in Florida beginning in 55 into the present day.
It's always in the 50s and 60s and 70s, dude.
Yeah.
That's kind of when a lot of it really took off. Like, after World War II, everybody came back and they're just like, I've seen all the crazy stuff! Where's this voice coming from? What the hell?
You're assimilating to Florida.
Clearly. What?
Okay.
I'm good.
In the 1970s, 2 Palm Beach County Sheriff's deputies named Marvin Lewis and Ernie Milner reported that an ape-like creature stalked them through a grove before they shot at it with their firearms. They reported following a trail of footprints where they recovered a hair snagged on a barbed wire fence line that had been pushed down.
All right.
In 71 to 75, a rash of sightings occurred in Broward County and surrounding areas. Multiple eyewitnesses reported nocturnal encounters of a 5 to 7 foot tall creature with dark red to black fur.
Now it's the Broward Booger.
God damn it. These events heavily covered in the newspapers at the time. Both local and in other Florida cities such as Miami.
No, it's pronounced Miami.
I'm not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that. I will fight you. And some of those incidences were the first instances of popularizing the term skunk ape in the state lexicon. There were reports that the skunk ape had invaded homes, stalked people, killed several livestock and farmers, including...
Do a reverse there.
And killed several farmer livestock, including a horse and a bull.
I guess fuck that one particular bull.
Yeah, fuck that bull in particular. The local police departments investigated after one law enforcement officer reported striking the skunk ape with his car.
Okay. Dispatch, I done just hit a furry man with my car. Are you sure it wasn't Carl? Nah, Carl'd be like 80. Carl'd be like 80 years old at this point. Was his son Jethro? Jethro Tull? No, just Jethro. I'm pretty sure I don't have a last name.
Posses were formed in an effort to locate the alleged creature. No body or evidence was ever found from that incident.
Wait. Did it just get up and crawl away? What the hell? He hit it with a car. How fast was he going? 5 miles an hour? Just dink, run away?
It was Florida. He was clearly going 1,000.
Oh yeah, you're right. Floridians
learn to drive the goddamn speed limit.
Oh yeah, you're right. Floridians don't have a speed limit.
Or rules.
Yes. I'm looking at you, man.
Hey. Side note.
Side tangent.
When I went to tech school, motorcycle tech school, I had a buddy who lived in his dad lived on Daytona Beach, like in the city, and obviously Daytona Bike Week, happens.
Yes.
So me and my friend were gonna go down there the night before Daytona started and grab some beers at one of the local bars, and then I was gonna stay the night and go home, and we were both gonna go back up to school the next day. I have a relatively newer motorcycle.
Yes.
That can keep speed.
Yeah.
He had a model from the 80s. And that particular era of that motorcycle company is not well known for reliability.
The
or
80s.
Speed.
The 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He threw his helmet on. I threw my helmet on. He, kickstands up. He looked and he rolled his bike back to me before we went off. He was like, "You good with keeping speed?" I'm like, and I looked down his bike. I'm like, "Dude, your bike was leaking oil. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm good if you're okay." And he chuckles. And this was like 3 months into being down there, so I was like, what are you laughing about?
All right, motherfucker. What's so funny?
We're doing 3 digits on the interstate in Florida on motorcycles and getting passed, and I'm not joking, by mothers in minivans with their kids.
Where were you heading?
From Orlando to Daytona Beach.
Daytona Beach. All right.
On, I believe, I-95.
Nah.
100 plus
Jesus.
getting passed by semis and minivans.
Well, semis I could see. Minivans, though.
Florida has no rules. It is Mad Max down there.
I'm pretty sure it's just Mad Max all the time down there.
Yes.
Like Florida, the second you cross into it, it's like, well, now I gotta get dressed in leather and gathered metal and look like and have my own big rigged up thing.
You know what it is? It's that meme of that older black guy in the cab. Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
That's Keith David.
Yes, it's Keith David saying, welcome to hell.
Welcome to hell, motherfuckers!
That's what Florida is.
Yes.
Anyway, Skunk Ape.
It's also hot as hell down there.
We don't have to talk about that.
I think that's why Skunk Ape is so stinky. He's just got humid pits.
You could cook eggs on the ground.
I say it again. Humid pits. That's why he stinks.
In 1977,
all right,
back onto it.
70s.
A failed-to-pass bill was proposed to the Florida State Legislature to make it illegal to take, possess, harm, or molest anthropoids or humanoid animals.
Okay then. So you cannot carry or...
You can't go out into the Everglades and molest Skunk Ape. Well, actually, I guess you can because it failed to pass. Those banjos are ringing real clear right now, aren't they?
Nah, it ain't banjos. It's some type
of... It's kazoos.
It's some type of weird swamp contraption that's a combination of drums and banjo. Just a bang a bam boom ba dang a bam boom bang a bam. That is bad. How did I become so unhinged? What the hell?
Welcome.
I lost it.
Oh.
Note to self, we talk about Florida again. I'm just gonna become this little fucker.
Yeah, we have another personality to deal with.
God damn it.
And like I said, Everglades. I've actually, when me and my godfather were going from Tampa to Key West, we went straight through the Everglades.
I never been.
And there is a museum with evidence of the skunk ape in the Everglades.
Air quotes.
Yeah, air quotes. Rolling into this, several Everglade tour bus operators, guests, have reported alleged sightings. In July '97, David Shealy reported wildlife bait stands laden with lima bean have been raided.
Lima beans?
And he noticed strange tracks surrounding them. He baited several locations with more lima beans, and multiple witnesses reported skunk ape sightings.
Get the cameras, people.
Shealy and others attributed this instance to high seasonal flooding, having driven numerous animals into tighter ranges around higher ground.
Well, I mean,
Tour bus operators Steve Goodbread and Dow Rowland, and some of their guests reported skunk ape sightings as well. Both operators claimed that 100-degree Fahrenheit weather, high humidity in the rural location would make a hoax unlikely.
I mean, you ever worn a ghillie suit?
Yes.
Those things are not air conditioning.
Breathy.
Yeah, they are not.
Yeah.
So those things, like I've worn them before. I wore one when I was a scare actor.
I wore one playing paintball. That sucked.
I mean, if you put a ghillie suit on and you walk around like out in the wilderness, I could have mistaken you for Bigfoot, Mr. Tall over there. Yeah. I mean, you got size 13 knockers.
And then we've posted the picture of it before, but that picture,
yeah, the glowing eyes and
was actually from '97.
Yeah, I remember that photo. That photo is like
taken by Ochope Fire Control District Chief Vince Dorr. Claims depicting a skunk ape. He reported to spotting the creature, crossed the road, stopped his car. What are you doing, Ted?
How close was he to this thing?
Oh, god damn it.
Did Ted die?
No, it deleted the tab.
Dude, I'm gonna buy you a new laptop.
I can't keep it.
I am going to buy you a new laptop. Yours is just going...
God damn it, Ted.
What did I say?
He reported observing the creature cross the road, stopped his car to capture a photograph. Within 2 weeks, over 50 people reported alleged sightings of the same creature in Big Cypress National Preserve, which is where it ran into.
There it is.
Side note, again, I had a girlfriend down in Florida.
Uh-huh.
And she lived on the border, like her house was on the border of a national preserve. We had a bear knocking on her door one night.
Did she ever have any, like, gators?
It's Florida. What do you think?
Not a one.
I had to wait for one to cross the road to get to her house.
Not a gator in sight. Gotcha.
Yeah. Was there a gator there? No shit, there was a gator there.
What? I think it's a...
What are you doing, Ted?
There's no such thing as stupid questions. Stupid answers, yes.
No, that was a... Were there gators in Florida on the edge of a national preserve? Tim,
Anything
do
to
you
mess
have
with
a mustache?
No, the mustache has
That's
me. It's warm in here. I'm starting to. I think I'm going crazy because it's getting warm in here.
Sightings continue to the present day, with 48 out of 67 counties in Florida reporting sightings since 2010.
Uh-huh.
And then, of course, the proposed explanations.
People think it's like an orangutan, right?
Orangutan, a black bear with mange issues, standard misidentification of animals. There's claims that it's actually just a really big skunk, which is more terrifying than any of the other things.
Yeah, no, like, I've never been sprayed by a skunk, but I can imagine a skunk that is unnaturally big. They ain't just spraying stink, they spraying acid. Like,
Yeah.
you're full, like, your face is gonna
It's
melt.
almost a paste.
Like, your face is going to melt when it hits you.
So, I have footage. And this is why I was kind of chuckling during your last episode, is because it's from a local, it's clickorlando.com, it's a local station down there.
Yeah.
And they have a couple articles, you know, that just constantly play through, and they were playing through while I was listening to you. It's, have you heard of the Florida's legendary skunk ape, followed by, what is this one? Florida's deadly sinkhole, followed by training dogs to avoid gator attacks, followed by incorporating baby gators into your garden, followed by bird flu discovered in Florida swans, followed by crash in Florida caused by gator.
This just in, Florida gator causes car wreck. This just in, Florida swans have bird flu. This just in, Florida! When did we get Australia this north? Legitimately, Florida is just the Australia of America.
Yes. This is what I've been telling you this whole time. I have stories.
I know you have stories, Mr. Florida.
So some of the most recent sightings were in Naples, a city in Collier County in July 2020, Inverness and Citrus County in 21 of January, and Seawalls Point in Martin County in February 21.
I actually looked at something that I thought was very funny. It's on the Wikipedia page. It says that I think one of the parks was like, yeah, to promote social distancing, they made the skunk ape stinky. Yeah,
this is actually where it was. This is the Skunk Ape Research Headquarters in the Everglades.
Okay.
It's a shack.
I want to have a Slim Jim with him right now. Or is that Jack Lynx? It's Jack Lynx. I want to have a Jack Lynx with a skunk ape right now.
And this is Dave Shealy's 2000 footage of an alleged skunk ape.
I think I'm familiar with that footage. It's a long... Yep, I know that footage, dude. You see something running through the Everglades.
Yeah. And what he was saying is that there was about 2 feet of water where that roughly where that thing is.
Yep.
And it took off like a bat out of hell. This is what I've been dealing with this whole time.
That is what you've been dealing with. Yeah, get a new one, dude. Now I see what the...
God damn it, Ted's are about.
Yep.
And as Sheely told News 6, the animal, it's running in about 2 feet of water and it's running as fast as a deer. And it's never been disproven or discounted as a hoax. And in fact, when people come here to see the area, they always leave because it's such a treacherous area to even walk in.
2 feet of water is not easy. Like, hell, I can barely even go through 10 inches of water.
Yeah.
10 feet of water would be drowning right now. What am I saying? But yeah, 10 inches of water is, like, difficult to slog through. 2 feet of water, like, geez.
Yeah. So, and Sheely is talking about, he's basically the intersection of I-4 corridor and I-95.
Yeah.
Where they both can join. If you're going on I-4 and you hit, I believe, I-95, make a left and go north, he said right there at the end of the I-4 corridor where it hits I-95 is a real hotbed for sightings and activity. And it has been for the last few years. So, according to the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, and obviously the redder the county, the more sightings. This is Skunk Ape sightings by county. Orlando is right about there on that top one.
Ah, that's where Disney World's at.
Daytona's
Daytona's, I know where
off to the side.
Yeah.
And the girlfriend that I had lived roughly down there.
Okay. Kind of central.
Yeah. So, yeah. But yeah, I think the reason I picked Skunk Ape to talk about him and some of the sightings and some of the mystery behind him is mostly I wanted to hear you attempt a Florida accent. But not. Skunk Ape is so ingrained into Florida culture at this point, especially in the Everglades, that it's actually the unofficial mascot for like national preserves down there. So it's actually become integral to society down in Florida, to that Mad Maxian world.
Okay.
And then there he is.
Well, I mean, like, according to a comedian, Gainesville, Florida. If you go up to Gainesville, Florida, you're back in Michigan, where the southern accent stops. But then you go past that in the Panhandle, and you go south. You got that Ronnie Van Zant, like, "What's up, man? How you doing?"
Yeah, almost like a California surfer style.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, this is Tim Wilson, by the way, as he discusses southern accents. He was a very funny comedian. May he rest in peace. Yeah, he talks about like the Leonard Skinner and Ronnie Van Zant, like, "Hi man, how you doing? That's a skunk ape out there." I'm just going now weird southerner myself. I'm just like, "Well, how'd he?" What are you up to over there?
I'm listening to him like that's accurate.
What? Like Gainesville, like north of Gainesville, you go back to Michigan. Yeah. Southern accent stops at south of Gainesville. Accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, to quote Mr. Blackman's North American Monster Guide again, so the skunk ape is also known as the abominable swamp slob.
Or ass. Abominable swamp slob? Do you not see that?
I see it now. The green chimp, the Everglades ape, the hollow paw gorilla.
Well, some of these sound derogatory.
In 1963, this is about the hollow paw ape thing. The skunk ape made a dramatic appearance near Hollow Paw, Florida, when it attacked attacked hunters at the Desert Ranch. The men shot the beast, but it escaped and later ransacked a house on the ranch, breaking furniture and leaving bloodstains on the walls and floors.
This is Florida, right? What's a desert doing in Florida? It's a fucking swamp.
Do you want to try and drink that water? It's a desert. It's like the ocean's a desert. Water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. Because you'll get mosquitoes.
Geographic. I'm just keeping my geographics.
The skunk ape returned to Hollow Paw in 66 and 67, where it again eluded capture.
clearly this guy had just a vendetta against this desert ranch group. It's like, call it Swamp Ranch, damn it!
But yeah, it was mostly it was a '60s creature.
Man, the ADHD is taken over today. Actually, I have undiagnosed. I don't think I have anything. I've never been diagnosed.
So, yeah, Skunk Ape's an interesting one.
I'm just convinced now it's just a group of Florida men who decided to keep it going. That there was this one dude back in the 1818s who's just like, I'm a get my buddies.
After one too many rounds of Appalachia Cola. Hey, Theodore.
Hey, Daddy.
We gonna go fuck with Jebediah and Hosea.
Let's go get him, Jeffro. Come on, buddy. What the fuck?
Oh, we need to go to bed. I need to go to bed.
You need to get to bed, sir.
But yeah, and I've talked about it in brief during the draft episode, but the coolest evidence for Skunk Ape is that picture.
That darn photo.
Because that is, I said it once, I'll say it again.
Say it again.
If it's fake, it is a damn good fake, and if it's real, Jesus Christ, I shit my pants. Kind of want to throw in a Deadpool and Wolverine spoiler in there because it's kind of adjacent.
Let's end this. It's getting late.
Nah, it's only 11:30. I gotta
go. You work in the morning.
Yeah, I know. To be up by 9
sucks.
I still got a half-hour drive in the dark.
Yeah,
fucker. Swear to God, if I see a skinwalker, I'm calling your ass. I'm just gonna throw. Hey, Tim, whistle real quick. Skinwalkers understand tracing cell phone calls, right? They can just track you back to you.
I don't know. I'm not gotten into that lore.
We're gonna test that theory.
Oh God. Alrighty. Well, this has been an interesting episode. I'll say this: the deer lady at the beginning, deer woman, she's spooky. She's scary. Skunk Ape, on the other hand, again, I'm considered as just a bunch of guys. Good old boys playing a prank on you.
Ain't meaning no harm.
I mean no harm. Just playing a prank on you, boss.
I was gonna start quoting the Dukes of Hazzard theme song.
Them Duke boys better learn how. Hope they know
how to use
deodorant and hope they get over this branch, or try to flap their wings a little bit first. Flap their hands there. That's an older reference if you don't get it for kids. Ask your parents.
I'm just gonna go ahead and back up now.
I mean, out of the two of us, I'm looking more like Uncle Jesse every day.
I'm hoping I don't look like Daisy, or. Is that her name?
Daisy Dukes?
What the fuck was her name?
Daisy.
Is it Daisy?
Yes, because they call her Daisy Dukes, because she's got the little... Yeah. Ah, hell, we're more like the Clampets anyway.
Alright.
Oh, God, older. Anyway, thank you, everybody.
Hang on. I just unplugged Ted. Ted was at 100%. When I just shut it down, it was already down to 75.
You get a new laptop, dude. I swear to God. The saga of Ted must come to an end.
The saga of Ted is like Emperor Palpatine. We don't know how he's back. He just is.
Thank you, everybody, once again for listening to Tall and Short with Tim and Tony. I'm Tim. He's Tony.
He's unhinged. I'm losing my mind.
I'm unhinged and you're traumatized.
When am I not?
Yeah, fair enough. Especially with me. Logo by Brittanie Norris. You can follow us on social medias at Tall and Short Podcast. We're on Facebook and Instagram, not Twitter, and I'm not going to call it X because that's a stupid name. It's a stupid name. It's Twitter. Fuck off. We're not on Twitter.
Or as Usador says it, Twatterton.
Twatterton, yes. Another podcast.
Shut up.
Don't worry about that. You can also email us at tallandshortpod@gmail.com. All of this will be down in the show notes. Once again, everybody, thank you all for listening, and hope you all have an amazing day.
Go wrangle some skunk ape.